Hello. As you can hear, my voice is still nice and husky. A couple of you have commented on how you like my lovely new voice. So I don't know if it's going to actually stick like this. Who was it? My sister, I think it was my sister, said that it might just stay like this, and I can't think of the name. You'll have to look at the comments under my last video. My last Chatuary video. Someone developed a cold or a cough, and then their voice went like this, and then it stayed like it. And I can't think who she said. I know there was another lovely person, my surname's sake actually, Joan Greenwood. She had a lovely husky voice, very plummy and posh, and it just suited her so much. Anyway, if you wonder where the hell I am, I mean, it might be quite obvious. I'm in my bed. I've been here for most of the day. I've achieved exactly bugger all today, apart from, I think I watched a couple of YouTube videos. I just feel so tired. I feel so washed out, and coughing is exhausting, and trying to I haven't done any talking today apart from this, so I wasn't even sure if my voice was going to work. And on top of that, I've broken out in spots and my eyes are leaking, and I'm just like, I'm so attractive. So tonight I plan to get a reasonable bedtime, because I'm so good at not doing that and then having insomnia until about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I have to get up tomorrow. Tomorrow is my weekly weigh-in at Slimming World, and I go every week, and I know lots of people have very strong views against slimming clubs, but I find it really supportive. I go to a really good one, and I find it really supportive because the one that I go to, and this is how weight loss groups should be, is that they don't just tackle the fact that you're overeating or eating too many calories or eating the wrong things. They don't just tackle that. They talk about why are we doing it? Why are we overeating? For some people it won't be a psychological problem, but for other people, and I would actually say that most people who have a weight problem and struggle to lose the weight because of their habits and things, I would actually say that it's a psychological problem. But the problem is that there isn't a lot of psychological or psychiatric help out there for people who desperately need it. I'm not talking about people who are really overweight. I'm talking about the people who are at the end of their tether of their psychological crisis, and the help isn't even out there for them. So they're not going to give us people who just need to stop putting too much food in our faces, they're not going to give us psychological therapy. So that's what I find really good about the Slimming World group that I go to. That's how it should be. It should be that we talk about the psychological aspects of it. Anyway, also the other thing is that I'm on the social team there, so I greet and help people, and I mean, I'm not qualified in being able to talk to them about weight loss and how to lose weight, but I do some of the admin and things like this, so it helps the group run smoothly. And as you can tell, I do like a chat, so when people come in and they're wanting to have a chat or to ask questions about certain things, I can chat to them. I'm trained in customer service as well. I've worked so much in shops, and had jobs answering phones and things, and you've got to really put your phone voice and phone head on, and customer service, and so I just fell into it nice and neatly. So it's my Slimming World day tomorrow, as I was saying, and it's the only day that I actually have to set my alarm to get up. And knowing that I've got to get up, it's not particularly early in the morning, it's like 11 o'clock. that I have got to be there. But knowing that I have to get up and have to be somewhere just gives me insomnia, which is fine, great, isn't it? And so I generally spend the rest of the day being knackered and having have to have a sleep. So I tend to treat weigh-in day as a day off, my weekend. That's what I tend to do. So instead of like thinking, right, I'm going to go home and do some work, and no, I tend to take myself out for lunch, or go for a coffee, or meet someone for a coffee, and yeah, and then come home for a nap. It was actually at the Slimming World group last week that I caught this lurgy. I'm pretty sure, because one of the members, I was doing the weigh-ins, so they came along and gave me their book, and I said, oh, as I usually do, hi, how have you been? And they said, oh, not good, and then coughed all over me. So thanks so much for that. Thank you. Merry Christmas. So I spoke just briefly just then about Slimming World and weight loss. I'll talk about that a bit more in another video, possibly tomorrow actually, because I'll have been to Slimming World and we can have a little bit of a chat then. So yesterday was New Year's Day, and I'd love to know what you got up to. I did some editing, got my first Chatuary vlog out, and had a Chinese. Yum. Very nice that was too. Spent too much money, of course. Why is Chinese food so expensive? Why is it so expensive? I mean, I really shouldn't be eating it. I mean, I literally was just talking about Slimming World. Well, this is not a lecture, but on Slimming World, you can eat anything you want. But it's the quantities that you have to watch out for. So when I say, oh, I shouldn't be having Chinese, I didn't mean that. I mean, I should have made better choices, because everything that I bought was deep fried, which I shouldn't be eating anyway. And it was carb heavy, carb loaded. And I think the only fresh vegetables in there was an onion. Oh no, there was some bean sprouts as well. Woo. So yeah, you can have better choices with Chinese. Oh, but we just know that it doesn't taste as good. So I had a Chinese yesterday. I actually felt quite good in the evening, better than I had done earlier in the day. So I ended up staying up a bit too late, of course. And I was just chatting to people online and having a bit of a laugh. And then the next thing I knew, it was o'clock and I had to go to bed. So yeah, I'm so good at doing that. Why do I do it? Why do I do it to myself? I know that I need the sleep. Anyway, tonight I'm not going to be doing that, like I said. That's one of the things that I do need to change for this year, is to try to go to bed at a reasonable time and get more sleep. One thing that I have found that's really good at helping me sleep is magnesium. And the reason I started taking that was, and I just realised how great that is. Bloody hell. It's glaring. Anyway, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, yes, so what happened was, about 3 years ago, I think it was, might be 4 years ago now, I had been through quite a stressful time, and I was drinking far too much as well. And so, yeah, no excuses there really, but I lost my dad, and just all the stress of everything, and I was just drinking too much because of the stress. And I'd been through a big stressful time leading up to that anyway, and it had been COVID. Anyway, so I woke up one morning and I was having this massive palpitation attack. It wasn't just like skipping a beat. It was, the way I described it was like that I had a cage in my chest, and somebody had put a live fish and no water in that cage, and the fish was flapping furiously around, desperately trying to get out. Or, you know, how fish do when they're out of water. And so this continued for about an hour and a half. And of course, after it not going after about 15 minutes, and I was panicking because I was thinking the pain's going to start in a minute. I'm having a heart attack and the pain's going to start in a minute. I know it. And I actually phoned 999. I phoned for an ambulance because I thought I was having a heart attack. And so they talked me through it, you know, like, did this, whatever, and everything. You know, did I feel dizzy? And yeah, that me putting my arm up affects the light. Did I feel dizzy? Did I feel sick? Did I feel like I was going to pass out? All things like that. And then they said, right, okay, well, it's a 4.5 hour wait for the ambulance. Okay. Am I having a heart attack? And they said, well, we won't know until the ambulance gets there or you get to the hospital. And I said, but it's a 4.5 hour wait. What if I'm having a heart attack? And they said, well, we'll be as quick as we can. And this was the thing. It came, it was 2021, so it was still sort of mid-pandemic. And I just was thinking, well, if it's a 4.5 hour wait for a potential heart attack, and I was by myself as well. I was here by myself. And I was thinking, if it's a 4.5 hour wait for a potential heart attack, then what if it's something even more serious? Like, not me, but what if somebody has something even more serious and the ambulance is going to take all that time because of, you know, basically the resources were overstretched because of COVID. And then, of course, you know, people were dying left, right and centre of everything else. Anyway. Ambulance didn't come, but what they did do, they sent a taxi, which they paid for. And I thought, God, what if I'm having a heart attack? What if I have massive heart attack in the back of this taxi? So, and the taxi driver's trying to chat to me, you know, as taxi drivers do. And I'm sat at the back of the taxi just thinking, shut up, shit, I could be dying here. Anyway, got to the hospital. They ran tests. They were really good, professional as ever, and asked me questions, prodded me about a bit and things, and took bloods. And long story short, it turned out I hadn't had a heart attack. There was nothing to do with my heart as such, because there was no raised heart enzymes or lowered, or you know, the heart enzymes were okay. But what they did find was that I had low magnesium. And low magnesium causes heart palpitations. Da-da-da. So what happened then was I referred to my GP, and they arranged for me to wear a Holter monitor, which just basically does a 24-hour EKG, I think it is, of your heart. It's not ECG, because I think ECG is where they ultrasound it. Anyway, whichever one it is, they monitor your heart very simply in 2 or 3 places overnight. You wear this little machine overnight, and then you take the machine back to the hospital, and they basically take the memory card out of it and then look at your readings. And I had no episodes. Oh, I had to write down as well if there was any palpitations or episodes of any heart-related stuff. So I had nothing. There was no episodes of anything in the chart, chart, graph, whatever, in the printout. Nothing at all. And so it was confirmed that nothing wrong with my heart. I just need to take magnesium. And the GP said, oh, go to the chemist and buy the magnesium. I think she said magnesium oxide. She said the cheap magnesium. She said you need to take 400 milligrams or milligrams, I think it is. 400 units of the whatever it is per day, and it's not expensive or something. It's magnesium oxide, I'm pretty sure she said. Anyway, I did my research. That was absolutely the wrong thing to tell me to take. Hadn't bought any by then, but it was the wrong thing to tell me to take, because magnesium oxide is one of you've got lots of different types of magnesium. Like, for example, Epsom salts are magnesium, and some are more easily absorbed into the bloodstream than others. And magnesium oxide, I'm pretty sure it's that one, or there's magnesium citrate or citrate. Anyway, the cheaper magnesiums, basically, you can't absorb into your body, or you can absorb about 5% of it into your body, and they make you go to the toilet. They make you poo. They act as a laxative, which is what's in Epsom salts. Again, long story short, I found that it was magnesium glycinate, which is often listed as biglycinate. I think I'm pronouncing that right. So that's the one that your body easily absorbs. It's even better if you can get it in liquid form, but it's expensive. It's terribly expensive, and I don't have those kind of funds for things like that. So it was bad enough having to pay 15 quid for a month's supply of the what did I buy? The Solgar chelated or chelated magnesium. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but that's what I buy. It's the one with the sort of slightly off gold label, and started taking those. And okay, I didn't have any more palpitations, but the weird thing that I noticed was again, I'm going really bright because I'm waving my arm around. Stop waving your arm around, Tracy. But the weird side effect that I had from it, which is a very nice side effect, was that it was helping me to get to sleep. And so I researched this, and yes, if you have insomnia, if you have trouble getting to sleep, magnesium is the thing that you should be taking. La. And also the funny thing is too, is that with my worry about the fact that it was my heart, even though it wasn't my heart, I thought at the same time I'll take my research showed that I should be taking selenium. And the funny thing is that selenium and magnesium together is a menopause remedy to stop night sweats, hot flushes, well, not to stop them, but help them. You know, your hormones and your premenstrual stuff and everything like that. If you're perimenopausal, premenopausal, or menopausal, magnesium and selenium is the combination that you should be taking. So by accident, I had helped both my insomnia and my perimenopausal stuff. La. Anyway, I was actually going to go down a completely different route today with my chat. I did have in mind a small rant that I wanted to have, but this has turned out rather pleasant. So for now, I'm going to sign off until tomorrow. Tomorrow will be day 3 of Chatuary. So until then, thank you for commenting. Thank you for liking. Thank you very, very much for subscribing. And I'll see you tomorrow. And in the meantime, I wish you love, light, stars and rainbows. See you tomorrow.